everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today's episode, we're talking about the good life. You know what I'm talking about, right? That life of ease and luxury, sipping pina coladas on desert islands. The sun shines all day long and the boats pass by and you do nothing day in and day out. Doesn't that just sound wonderful? And like you get the nice tan. But what about tomorrow? And the day after that, 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 and the day after that. Like, what happens like 3 years later, and you're still sipping pina coladas, and you're burnt to a crisp in that desert island? And you know what is that life? Is that really a good life at that point? I don't know. Like, I don't think so personally. In fact, I've known people who've tried that, and they almost always come back. Now, I'm not talking about like people who go off and like they travel the world and they get to know people and they learn new languages and they couch surf, or maybe they try different villas in different places for 30 years and they just live, right? Not quite what I'm talking about. That's definitely sounds like a good life, but I don't know. Me personally, for me, a good life isn't necessarily one of complete leisure. I don't think people were made to be 100% leisurely, because at some point, just related to playing video games, right? I'm a gamer, right? I have sat and played video games 16, 18 hours a day, every day for weeks and weeks and weeks. And at the end of weeks and weeks and weeks, I feel like I've gone batty, like I'm going insane. And like, how can I keep playing? Like, I have to like do something else. I got to like contribute to the world. For me, like, I have to contribute something. I have to find a way to put some effort into something other than just leisure. Now, that may not be you. Okay. Not everybody's the same as me. I believe that I fall into a personality type that is known as an entrepreneurial personality type. I have to find something to do. I have to do something, and I have to like try to rise up and climb ladders. Even when I'm not trying to climb ladders, I climb ladders. So like every organization I've ever been a part of, I get promoted and I don't even know how it happened. Like I'm usually like in some sort of like executive position before I know it. And like, I'm on committees and I'm like, I didn't want to do any of this. How did this happen? They're like, oh, well, you just seem like the kind. Like, what do you mean I seem like the kind? Like, you showed up. By the way, Woody Allen was totally right. 80% of life is just showing up. If you want to raise your stature in any organization you're in, just show up. And I don't mean like just show up to work. I mean, show up in the sense that you're there to contribute. You're there to be engaged. If you're in a nonprofit, this is a funny one. So like nonprofits, I've seen so many of these. They usually have like meetings of some type, maybe weekly, annually, monthly. If you show up over and over and over again, you get to start to know the executive board or the people at the top, the committees, right? And before you know it, you're going to get placed on a committee. Like without your will, you're just going to get placed on a committee. One nonprofit I was a part of, the people who didn't show up got placed on the committees because the people at the committee didn't want to do it anymore. But like, it's really easy to get on the board of a nonprofit. Actually, you just show up and you're like, get a couple months. I think my record length, the amount of time it took me in terms of longest, was 6 months. And then I'm like, I'm on a committee. Oh, now I'm the vice president. What happened? But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the good life, right? For me, I'm the kind of person who just kind of ends up in positions of working and contributing and benefiting society. And I don't think I'm ever really happier unless I'm doing that. I may moan and complain about all the work I have to do, not seeing my family and being on calls all day long. But at the end of the day, I don't think I'd want anything else. Like I've done the everyday playing video games thing. I don't know how like the big streamers do it every single day, like 12 hours a day. Yeah, they're getting paid, but like even still, you got to be going batty. And maybe it's their chat. Maybe they're able to engage with a chat, or maybe they're doing something different, creating other kinds of content. But at some point, you've done it long enough that you're going to feel like you have to change. And when you do decide to change, try to figure out how to change in a way that benefits not just you. I think one of the biggest issues people have is they're so focused on themselves that when they finally make it, whatever that means for them, they put all of their time, money, and energy into just the thing that they've spent all that time on, right? Themselves. And that's what causes people to burn out. When you could start finding a way to put your time, energy, and money into helping others, you never really seem to run out of energy. You never seem to run out of money either. It's just constantly perpetuating itself. And people are seeing you as someone who changes the world, and opportunities come your way. It's when you become outwardly focused rather than focusing on just you that life will change. So I'm going to remind you all, organization is the enemy of sloth. Do you even know what it is you want? When I meet new people, I'll ask them, so what's your goal? What is it you want to do with your life? And they go, oh, make some money and, retire and be happy. What does that mean? How much money? What are you going to do when you're retired? What does it mean to be happy? I'm happy all the time. Even when I'm being yelled at or by a business partner or nagged at by my wife, like I'm still happy. Like you guys can't affect me. I'm happy. Like you have to wait until you're retired to be happy. What's the deal there? What is it for you? Like, what is it you really want? If you don't have anything yet, I guess I would say don't feel too bad, because the vast majority of people on this planet can't tell you what their goal is. They don't have anything concrete. It's this loosey-goosey, fuzzy, feel-goody stuff that's, when the day comes, it's time to do it. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, am I happy now? Like, I don't know. No. Be specific, be concrete. What is it you want? Where is it you're going to go? What is it you're going to build? And then have some idea of what you're going to do after that. Because if your idea is you're going to build a wood boat, okay, well, how long is that really going to take you? Like, honestly, I mean, even Noah got the boat done in, in a reasonable amount of time, right? Like, what is your next step? What is the next thing? What is the next thing? Are you going to be selling these boats? Are you going to go out and fish on the boat and then just swim around on the boat forever and ever and ever and then eat fish until you die? Okay, what are you going to do on that boat other than fish? Because at some point, the books you brought along, you're going to run out of that. The TVs, I mean, you could rot your brain on the television, sure, but at some point, like that gets kind of boring, in my opinion. What comes next? And if it's about you and it's about your pleasure and about your aims, then it doesn't. There's no joy in it. I'm reminded of a song from Disney's movie Tangled. It is I Have a Dream. And if you haven't heard that one, go find it on YouTube. It's called I Have a Dream, and it's wonderful. It's about these thugs and criminals who talk about their dreams. And if you listen, the vast majority of their dreams were not just them. Like the main character, he's like, I want to live on an island with a pile of money. And everybody's like, that's a horrible dream. Everybody else is like, I want to contribute. I want people to see this. I want to help enrich their lives. And so if you're not enriching people's lives, are you really that rich? On that note, I'll leave you all. Don't be just a gamer. Be a gamerpreneur.